Hello, everyone, and welcome back to PODCAD. Today, we are joined by myself, as always, Alexander Lakin, and our lovely guest here, who is a luthier, industrial designer, designer of many and very nice guitars, if you didn't know what luthier was. Some would say she's the Jimi Hendrix of making guitars. I say that.
I think you're alone in that.
Please welcome Alicia Vignew.
Thank you.
Doing today?
I'm okay. How are you guys?
It's not too bad, tired, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're.
recovering on this break from OCAD.
It seems like one of us gets sick every time, so I'm glad we're still here all together.
Yeah,
And
it's been a slow rotation through the host. There's been a lot of two-person episodes in the past few
Yeah.
weeks. But we're here, and we're
Yeah.
going to talk about your amazing work.
can I say that like when we met you, it was during GradX, and you were presenting your finished work, and we were really excited to talk to you then, but we had like just our whole day booked out.
Yeah.
And I guess like I want to say like let's start from GradX. How did you like that experience?
GradX was very interesting. It was fun while it was happening, but it was very stressful, the journey to get there. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of like strict deadlines. But once like all of the work was finished and it was like actually GradX, it was fun. It was good. Yeah.
Cool. So let me just give a little background. You make guitars. I think I already said that. They're very pretty. They got flowers and, well, I guess you could say it better yourself. Tell me about your guitars and the guitars you make.
So the resin guitars I make, I primarily use flowers in the bodies, but you can use a lot of different things in resin as long as it isn't like food or something that has moisture. So currently I've only done flowers, but I have a couple of other things in mind. I really want to do like a candy themed one. Yeah, I've had a lot of people give me different ideas as well. Some good, some very bad.
Let's list some of the bad ones. What are some of the...
Some of the bad ones. Okay, I had someone comment on Instagram. I don't even know if I want to say this. They asked if I could make a guitar with dildos inside of it. And I said, if you paid me an obscene amount of money, I could, but you'd have to pay me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they're in them and not out of them.
Yeah. Lots of bad ideas.
I guess like the possibilities are endless though. If you can like put it inside of resin, then it can be formed into the guitar.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you like other than candy? Because you said that is something that you definitely want to like see in a guitar in the future.
Something that I like the idea of bones.
Bones are cool.
Not necessarily real ones, because if I was going to do something real, I'd have to really get an ethical source. But like fake ones are fine.
Yeah, and the beauty to your guitars is that, it's like you're almost trapping this thing in time. And when I see the flowers just like super lush, even though, you've experimented with real flowers in the past, those were, fake flowers when you started your thesis, you told me. And it seems like you put a pause and it's just like trapped like an icicle, and it's really cool.
Thanks,
the way it comes together.
Thanks.
What are some of the challenges of working with like live flowers or like live plant matter and preserving it?
Part of the reason I used fake flowers for the first guitar is because, well, it was for an independent study, so I was on a deadline. And for real flowers, you have to dry them really well. And if you don't dry them properly, they'll turn brown in the resin. And because resin is so expensive, that wasn't a risk I wanted to take. So I'd say definitely making sure they're properly dried. And then the thing with that is, too, they can lose color and they can lose shape. So, yeah.
It's definitely a big challenge then. But what do you find is like the benefits of using real flowers versus say like a fake flower though?
I'd say with fake flowers, it kind of depends, but sometimes for some of them the dye can come out, but also that can look really good. Like I know for the one I did for my independent study, like some of the dye came out and it ended up making some parts of the guitar like a little bit pink tinted, but I actually think it ended up turning out good. But then sometimes if that dye comes out and it's not a nice color, like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's the big one for fake flowers.
And I guess it is like sort of a thing, like once it's happened, there's no like going back and fixing it. It's just a big chunk of wasted material. Yeah.
I haven't had any like big problems like that before. Like I always do like tests before to make sure like, is this yellow flower going to make the whole thing yellow or something like that? So far it's been like, okay, but just something to think about. Yeah.
No, I know we've definitely like started with guitars and stuff, but are there any other instruments that you would maybe consider or like are a possibility of making with the same techniques?
Yeah, so I had a video blow up on Instagram recently, and from that I've had a ton of people reach out and ask if I can do basses, which is something I could definitely do. And with the amount of like demand there seems to be, it's something I really want to do in the new year. And then other than that, I'm thinking of doing maybe something with like a kalimba. It's like a little like thumb piano. Cool. Yeah, like mostly wood, but well, I have a couple ideas. Some are like mostly wood with a little bit of resin. Some are like mostly resin. Just different things I want to play around with.
It's super cool.
So a bass would require, completely starting from scratch, even though like the guitar sort of shape mimics the telly and there was like a telly sort of bass, you'd still have to start from. How do you start creating a shape for a guitar?
Usually I start with like sketches, like just chicken scratches until I get something that I like. And then I'll take that and I'll turn it into a CAD model. And depending on if I'm making the mold or if someone else is making the mold, I'll use that as the positive. And then you like pour silicone over it, and then once you have the mold for it, if you take care of it, it can last like forever.
All OCAD things I don't understand. There's a room somewhere there where they do this.
Yeah.
It's a crazy room.
Yeah, the people there are so nice.
Yeah, it's just it's a crazy environment though.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of just.
Can I just say, just like, they're so nice. It's like, hey, we don't get too many people here. Come join us.
Well, literally, like, it is like the very back corner of OCAD. Like, it's actually technically in like the part of the building that's like the AGO, like that little tuck corner. Yeah.
So I didn't even know about mold making until my last year, which is like year 5.
Jeez. See, I'm finding all these studios in my 5th year too that I didn't even know existed. I'm like,
I don't think they want you to know.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that a little bit. For some, not mold making, but for some stuff,
For a while, I didn't know that everything on the first floor was like, just take as you will or like use as you want.
Yeah.
And which I didn't know in my first year. If I did, let's just say my ads would get crazy.
You've been doing 3D ads.
Yeah, 3D ads.
Yes, a life-size cutout, please.
Of me doing the presentation.
I think it's like, it definitely is a challenge on campus to get space for anything, though, even still. Like, once you are there, though, it's like, I don't know if you had for you, like, obviously, like, you're working on, like, pretty precise and, like, large molds and stuff, so, like, storing them there, how did that... that was probably stressful, no?
Yeah, I had a locker, and then my locker quickly got filled, so then I started using my friend's locker as well. And then, like, for the wood shop, it's like if you can get a space early on underneath a bench and you just keep your stuff there, like, it's fine. Don't, like, don't leave anything expensive, like, just in case, but, like, overall it's fine. And then, like, near the end of... last year, I would have to carry stuff to and from school just because there was so much I had. But yeah, space can be an issue.
And I mean, I know you're working with something like a very, very clear resin and stuff. How did you? I mean, did you pour it at OCAD in the studios there?
I did. Yeah.
So okay, so I don't know. You haven't been in mold making, but I know mold
No,
making.
I
it is
poured
like
resin though.
I poured it in
Sucks.
plastics.
plastic. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was wondering because like mold making is covered in dust.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
everywhere.
No,
It's
they
like
have a fume hood.
okay.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
that's
well,
more stuff that you gotta like. You don't
tell
know
us,
until
you know,
know.
the techniques to get like clear, you know, sort of resin, like you know you could see in your guitars.
The big thing with resin is making sure that the ratio, because it's usually 2 parts, making sure that the ratio is very accurate, making sure that the temperature is right, and mixing well. If the temperature is wrong, it won't cure right. So like on that guitar, I did a second pour, a thin pour on the back, and I did this one at home in the garage during the winter.
Oh, yeah.
And I
So
waited 3 days for it to cure, and when I went to take it out of the mold, it was gummy because of the temperature. And then like similar things can happen with if you mess up the ratio.
yeah.
So I'd say definitely mixing and temperature are huge with resin.
So it's not as easy as the, you know, like the reels and the TikToks make it look too, you know.
If you're doing like small stuff, it's definitely easier, but for something bigger, yeah, it's like a little difficult and it's very messy.
I guess like when you're pouring it, are you pouring in multiple pours, or are you pouring it all at once as like one big?
So the first guitar, I did it in 1 pour, and then like that second pour I did, I had to take the whole thing off, and that took like 5 hours.
I wouldn't have suspect that, you know, because like seems like everything has like its neat place, and like once you pour it, I felt like it just like all
so
move
for that
around.
one, once I poured it, the flowers actually floated.
Oh,
That was like
so
like I kind of knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't know it'd be that bad, which is why I did the second pour to cover like the things sticking out. Turned out to be a disaster, but like I fixed it in the end. It turned out to be okay. But yeah, working with resin is not what you'd expect.
Yeah, I've only tried it once, and even that, like,
same, yeah.
I lost
it's too many bubbles.
I lost half of the container because it cured too fast, like while mixing it, and then it was just like a big ball.
I have like half of a container that's like cured to my like shelf that I put it on, so it ain't coming off. That's the thing, you don't take care of the stuff, and then like, you know.
It sucks too because the weather changes so drastically here.
Yeah.
Like it's like perfect to work during like the summer and the spring, but then when winter comes around, it's so difficult. And if you don't have a place to store that, like it's gonna go bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's so expensive too.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Canada Sculpture Supply maybe once or twice out in Etobicoke, and you walk in there and it's like 2 tiny little bottles are like $200, and you're like,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick a new niche. So, what you told me sorta is that there's a lot of customizing and sort of selection with your guitars. You know, when you're making custom orders for people online or people you meet, and why don't you tell me some of the options people have for their guitars?
For sure. So with the body, of course, you can choose what you want in the resin within reason. Because there's some stuff you can't do, like I said before. And then you can choose like your pickup, so the sound you want, if you want like humbuckers, or if you want like single coils. You can choose like your controls, if you want like a tone knob, or if you want like a 3-way switch. If you wanted a different body shape, I could do that. I'd have to make a new mold, and I'd have to design a new body. Can be done. It would just be more expensive. And then with the neck, there's like tons of stuff you can do, like different materials for the fretboard, for the neck, different types of frets, different inlays, different radiuses, scale lengths. There's a lot. And same with hardware, you can choose different colors. So like the ones I've done, I've used chrome, but you could also do something like gold or like black.
That's cool. And the inlays, are you are you doing those yourself, like carving?
Right now, I'm outsourcing the necks.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have a space to work. I don't have a wood shop currently to work at. I have designed full necks before. Like, I understand how to do it, like the math behind it. I just don't have the space right now.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, space is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good that you're looking into like creating the whole guitar. And you know, that way you have like 100% control, you know, to give the client what you want, and also to experiment as well, because even though these things are thousands of years old, you know, it still seems like we find new ways to create guitars.
Yeah.
Do you plan on keeping it always being sort of like this custom-made, customizing thing, or do you intend at some point, if you had the ability to make it sort of more like streamlined, producing multiples of the...
I think I would like to move towards streamline, especially because something I've noticed when people like fill out my form to request a quote, when I like in the sections where I write like what pickups do you want, they'll just say doesn't matter. So I feel like I need to move towards something where it's like I'll give you the options, because I think right now it's a little bit too broad.
Yeah.
I'd definitely like to move towards that. It would make it easier for myself, and it would make it easier for them too. And if they are like a guitar player and they like literally like specifically know what they want,
that's the
then
thing.
that's
There's
the thing that can happen. Like,
there's a lot of guitar players that are very specific
like that
on,
I could do,
on
but
everything
like
they
so
want.
many people have reached out to me and they're like unsure.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but I think I could make that process easier for...
So then it's like maybe more the choice can be like the shape.
Yeah.
Because once you have, like you said, once you've made the mold, that mold works for like so many casts that you can just change what's inside of it.
Exactly.
That's cool. It's really, really fascinating. Now,
so sorry, you said food doesn't work.
No.
Not even like macaroni.
that's pretty wet, dude.
No, dude, like uncooked
Like
macaroni.
Okay, like dried noodles.
Not sure. Like if it can go rotten, just like
it
regularly,
could go rotten.
it will go rotten in resin, from my understanding.
So okay.
What's
I
that
know we've all
stuff
seen
that
like the hamburger
they,
one. It doesn't work. Everyone who comes up to me and talks to me about resin is like, "Oh, I've seen like the one where they put a hamburger in it." I'm like,
except
it
like
will only look like that for a little bit.
a McDonald's hamburger will last
well, yeah, maybe
forever.
that one would be fine.
Trying to think of like the most like crazy food that you could like preserve in a guitar.
I was thinking like what's that stuff they use to preserve like
silicone
animals and like
Formaldehyde?
Formaldehyde. So okay, one pour, then walls, and then formaldehyde. Then get your snake.
Okay, that's an idea I've had for a while.
And
snake. That'd be super cool.
I guess like
snake's not food.
just make sure. Okay, whatever. So, you know, it's formaldehyde. You're not gonna put like macaroni in it.
Okay. Well, you can just get like people do preserve animals in resin.
Yeah, like
you don't need the formaldehyde.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
So I wonder what the science why like you could like put a whole animal.
You'd have to dry it out, and you'd have to like remove the organs.
Which is like a regular, you know, taxidermy sort of process.
Much. Yeah.
Well, so then if you have like a dehydrator, like I see those people that dehydrate candy all the time and dehydrate stuff, just dehydrate the food first.
But then
wow,
what does
so
dehydrated
cool.
food look like?
Like
I don't think
like
it's
a
gonna
dried
look like really food at that.
mango. So
okay,
crazy.
I didn't think that far about it. It was just a hypothetical.
Okay.
It really like opens up your minds to possibilities.
You could do like, I don't know, like what's like. There's not like, I mean, I don't know what the appeal is. I guess you need like a customer that's gonna buy it first. Like it's not like we're out here making like.
If I had the money, I'd go crazy and do
Well, you guys heard her here. Give her the funding.
Give her the funding. She'll get it done.
These guitars made. If you're a bass player. Basses soon.
If you're a what is it, kalimba. Yeah, I haven't met many of those, but if you do.
Now, Alex, if you could get something in a guitar,
what
would it be?
Dude, I'd like I'd try to find like I don't know, like maybe bottle caps or like old posters.
That's cool.
And rip them up and like put them in a guitar, or like the paper parts of the vinyls.
That's cool.
Yeah, at the center.
Yeah, the center is kind of cool. But also there's just like so many like guitars that have existed in the past that I really want. Like George Harrison's like very psychedelic guitar, and like Jimmy Page's one with like the mirrors on them. So I got a guitar list coming up, you know. I wouldn't say I'm a collector, but I have too many, which is 4.
4, that's too many.
It's more than
4
I
is
have.
more than you'll ever play.
See, I want to be like pretty meta. I'd put like guitar picks in the guitar.
Yeah,
pick,
you can do that.
and you'd be like, oh, I never lose them.
I can't
true.
even
Yeah.
lose my pick, bro.
That's true. Unless you drop the guitar, then I guess.
Oh shit.
And then, because if there's picks in it
Yeah,
and you drop the guitar, it's gone
you lose
forever.
it.
It's like into a wormhole.
That's so true.
Gone.
But then you could use the guitar as the guitar pick. See, like that's like a full circle there, right?
Yeah, the guitar is the guitar pick. And then you smash it, and then it just goes
It's
everywhere.
crazy. So, okay, let's get back to the task at hand, though. Obviously, you make guitars. So, what is your connection to guitars? Why did you choose to start making guitars?
Good question.
So I've been playing guitar since I was like 11, and I've been doing woodworking since I was 12, so around the same age. So naturally, I've always wanted to combine those two and make a guitar. But I never got around to it until about a year ago, when I was given the opportunity to do an independent study, because I did a minor in furniture design, and there was 1 credit left that I needed, and for whatever reason, OCAD decided to cancel the class completely. And so I was like, this is not fair. I literally needed this 1 credit to complete my minor. And so they said, you can do an independent study instead to fulfill it. And so then for my independent study, I went in thinking I'd be making furniture. So to my supervisor, I was like, okay, I'm going to like make a table with like resin and flowers and whatever. And but the first time we met, we like bonded over guitars, and he was like, why don't you make a guitar instead? And I was like, isn't this supposed to be replacing a furniture class? And he was like, who cares? I was like, perfect, because I'd rather make a guitar anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you're like Alex, in his case, you have 4 guitars, you're playing one of them, 3 of them are furniture because they're on your wall.
That is true, yeah. They're pretty much furniture.
It's
my
like
gosh.
house furnishing, right? Like
Yeah.
like a guitar is so multi.
Now I want a guitar in a guitar.
I feel like you could
And then
like,
turn it into a table.
you should have blown your advisor's mind. You should have made like a table, but it's like a playable guitar.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
like a
that would've
lap
been
steel?
interesting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can pick it up. It's got the legs.
I don't know if he would have had some words.
Probably.
Okay. Just a thought. Have you ever thought about making a resonator guitar?
I'm not sure I understand.
Okay.
There is your answer.
There's my answer. Yeah.
I think it was my phone.
That was.
Yeah, it was my phone.
Yeah.
That was
That was
perfectly
good.
timed.
Yeah. Anyways, so your independent study went well, and you.
Sorry, I need like.
I guess what are you working on currently?
Currently, I'm working on another resin guitar for a customer. She's in the States.
That's cool.
This one is a surprise for her fiance, and the flowers that she chose, sunflowers, roses, and baby's breath, have like a lot of meaning in their relationship. So I've been working on that for the past couple months.
That's super cool. What is like the logistics of like shipping or getting a guitar like this to the customer, as it is like obviously super heavy and
Yeah.
fragile?
Yeah. So
Money.
yeah, basically, How do I? Okay, so you need to ship it with a case,
Yeah.
and then the way that I like even when I take the guitar, like my own resin guitar, when I go out with it, I always wrap it in the body in like a blanket inside of the case, just to like nothing's gonna happen if I don't do that, but
But
just
it's
to
your
like
baby.
really prevent any
Yeah.
possible scratches. So I'll send it to her in a case with something wrapped around the body as well, and then I'll have to put it in a box and then just put like a lot of packing peanuts
Yeah.
or bubble wrap and then just an extreme amount of tape around the
Yeah.
box.
Nowadays they make like a lot of different like package material just to send guitars.
Yeah.
So
See, it's funny because I thought every time you were saying like extreme or a lot or everything, I was waiting for you to just be like an extreme amount of insurance.
Yeah.
A lot
Insurance,
of
yeah.
insurance.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be good.
Yeah. It's like, it's a little weird because so far from what I've seen for shipping, they only cover up to like $100,
Yeah.
which is like 10% of the guitar.
Yeah.
It's actually like the thing is like I've had issues with shipping stuff too because if you tell them that you want to insure it over a certain amount, they're like, oh well, then there's going to be customs on it
Yeah,
and blah,
exactly.
blah, blah. And then it's like
Yeah.
it's not even worth it at
Yeah.
that point because then it's like, all right, then just let it break and
Yeah.
then make a new one. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, it's very weird. I've heard from like shipping people too to not write fragile on things either, because apparently like some mail carriers, when they see that, they'll purposely handle it poorly. So
Because it's
just
funny.
Like, yeah, it's very stressful.
This side up.
Fragile, you say? I
Yeah.
wonder how fragile.
I
Stomp
know.
on it.
But then
yeah.
at the same time, like companies ship guitars all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know.
Have you ever had any issues with like shipping or anything? Nothing.
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Sunflowers.
Mhm.
Real sunflowers?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I've tried drying sunflowers
Yeah.
before, and it turned out very bad because when the moisture gets pulled out, like the petals shrink.
Mm-hmm.
So with
Mhm.
the sunflower, the middle doesn't really shrink, but the petals shrink.
Oh.
So it looks like it's like
Mm.
balding when
Ah.
it's finished. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, I guess like a sunflower is like more head than it is petal. Like it's
Mhm.
like mostly like the pinwheel in the center.
Yeah, yeah. But like roses are totally fine. Drying roses, they just change color.
And is there like any like special details on this guitar that you're making currently, like for the customer?
Other than the flowers, she chose like very interesting inlays. They're called like
Cool.
supernova, so it's like
Cool.
a diamond. Yeah, they're very big. Yeah.
If there was one person you could make a guitar for, who would
Oh.
that person be?
Okay. Joan Jett,
Oh yeah.
Bonnie Raitt, and then all of my other favorite guitarists are dead. So. Oh,
That's
Stevie
fair.
Nicks. I would love
Yeah.
to make a
That's
guitar
cool.
for Stevie Nicks. Actually, between us 3, 4, and all the people watching, I have something coming up for someone very big. A pretty big name.
Pretty big name.
Yeah.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, you can. I don't think
I-
you're gonna get. I don't like a big
I'm
name.
pretty good at these things.
Okay.
A big name, but
Big name.
What is the
in guitar?
guitar?
In music.
In music,
music.
guitar. You know, influential person, Marty Music.
No, actually. Okay, first of all, love him.
Yeah.
Second of all, he follows me on TikTok.
Oh,
which is-
cool.
yeah, I like.
So
freaked
he's
out when I
he's
found that
eyeing
when
it.
I
Okay,
he's
found
he's
it.
thinking about it.
Maybe. I mean, my guess. Is it Mac DeMarco?
No,
Damn. Okay.
A guitarist? Is that?
He plays guitar. Are you kidding?
You don't think of like a guitar? Okay, whatever.
you guys are very far off. I'll say that.
Oh,
Like rock.
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 I know.
Is
Billy
it-
Talent.
No, you just have to wait and
Yeah,
see.
I get. There's a lot of rock guitarists, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait and see.
Unfortunately.
No, fortunately.
Oh.
I mean,
I guess we'll never know.
Well, I'll post about it
yes. So
You'll know.
then how can they find that update?
on my Instagram.
Which-
av.guitars.
av.guitars. Dot with a dot.
Yeah.
And on TikTok as well, same thing?
My TikTok is Alicia777.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be up there. Make sure to catch it. Hi, Licken.
What's up? I thought you were gonna ask a question. I thought there was a
No,
question after that.
I kind of paused for a second.
Oh, all right. Well, why don't we look at some sort of the process of
Yeah.
how you make your guitars, and maybe you can give us a little bit more insight into some of the challenges and stuff.
So I'm sure you've all been waiting to see them since we've been talking about them. So yeah, we'll get to it. Please, what is this guitar soup that you've created?
Yeah, so that was the pour for the first guitar. You can see they're sticking out because, like I said, they float.
Mm-hmm.
And for this mold, you have to do it upside down. So you're seeing the back of the guitar right now.
Okay.
And then the mold I made is pretty flimsy. It's made of silicone. So around the mold, I had to do like a plaster casting, and then like that orange band is like holding it all together. So that's what's going on with this one.
So if the orange band just went, it just like whoosh.
No, it wouldn't. No. It's just like if you took
Just
it off, it would
support.
still be the same. It's just
Right.
there for like, I don't want to say peace of mind because it does hold it together
It's just
tightly, but
tension,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Cool. And
It's so fascinating because like it's just strange looking at it when it's in there because it's like the silicone part can come out too, which is just so weird in a way. Like it's just
And do you add like any dyes?
No.
No? So
No.
it's just clear. Because whenever I look at this guitar, it's always very pink.
Yeah, because some of the dye came out of the flowers, but I didn't add it.
Oh,
It
and
just
that's
was
cool.
kind of like surprise.
what is the like decasting process? You have to break the plaster off or
No, so the plaster, it's actually 3 pieces, so you just
Okay.
like pull it apart.
Okay.
so you can
Very
reuse the
simple.
plaster too then.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
As long as you don't break it.
Drop the plastering,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's basically like once you've made one guitar, you can make hundreds of guitars.
If you take care of the mold, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Have you used this same mold again to make other ones, or has it been like for the other guitars that you've been making a new mold?
So I started using a new mold. This one I outsourced. But when I have like leftover resin from a casting, I'll put it in that mold. So
Oh,
like
so
the
it's
last
gonna be
time
like
I had like just a thin layer, and I put it in that mold, and I just stuck like gummy bears. It was like acrylic gummy bears I had. Layer 1 of the gummy bear guitar.
So it's like slowly being
Yeah.
created.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Just so I don't waste it,
So
like
it's
the
like
extra.
It's like a guitar made out of like many other guitars.
Yeah, yeah.
Scraps. That's
Yeah.
meta. This is the
You know what would be great as like an April Fool's gift? It's just like if you like make a guitar of their house keys and wallet and like credit cards like all laid in there. Be like, I got you a guitar.
Oh my god, that's brutal.
It's
But you know
horrible.
what? If you put the credit card close enough to the top, they could probably still tap.
Yeah, they could like use it as their like daily carry guitar.
Oh my god,
That'd be great.
that would not.
Okay. On that same note, though, what about like a guitar that has like a card reader embedded in it, so when you're like playing on the street, you can like tap
Oh my
the
god,
card
for a
with the
tip?
guitar.
Wow, that'd be good. Honestly, I like that
Sorry,
one.
man, I don't have any change. Oh, really?
It's on the
It's
guitar,
like the 15%, 20%
Wow.
iPad.
exactly.
that
it's
one,
like
yeah.
the guitar.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the future
Yeah,
that we
that
need.
is. Yeah.
This is definitely the future. Not just because you mentioned buskers. I've always seen like buskers. The one thing they complain about is their hands get cold. Since we're on the topic of creating guitars,
Yeah.
a neck that has a neck warmer in the neck, so you're playing it,
Yeah.
and your fingers stay toasty.
You should talk to my thesis prof.
I think. Oh yeah, he'd love those
he
ideas.
He had interesting ideas too. I think he'd like that one.
He'd be like, and then it extends.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll stay out of the guitar industry.
No, it's okay.
Leave it up to
I
Chipson
like hearing the ideas.
and Alicia.
I think like the better thing would be like a guitar that can like fold.
Those
Do
exist.
that, yeah.
Those exist where you
Yeah.
can you can like take the neck off. It's like
Really?
travel, like
Yeah.
for traveling. Yeah.
They fold and like you put them back and they're in tune.
That's
That's
crazy.
their
Yeah,
like.
I don't understand that.
I guess I don't know.
Maybe
It
they
just
must have like
locks and
just removed it and stuck it back. Cause like I've seen videos of that and I'm like,
wow.
yeah.
But how does that work?
So it's like if your bridge takes your string and then
Okay.
it goes to the tuner and then it must have like really good locking tuner.
It
'Cause,
must.
Because if it didn't, it'd move around. But the neck will fold in on itself, and on the back is like this, like kind of like locking system where you just like pull the neck back and you put it in place.
That's crazy. Now, can you make that out of resin?
Now, can you do that?
I-
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't
think
know if
there's-
I'd want to put the time in though.
Yeah,
You're more than welcome.
I think it's like a patent system or something. I don't know.
Have you ever considered doing like lessons for people?
Yeah, I have taught lessons before.
Oh, that's really
Oh
cool.
wait,
Mhm.
you don't mean guitar lessons? Do you mean what do you mean? Do you mean like
Resin.
building
Oh.
lessons?
Yeah, building lessons.
Oh, actually, yeah, I had someone reach out and ask if I could do like a little workshop, and I was like, I could. I don't know everything, I know enough, but
Yeah.
I'm not like an expert.
Well, they have those like wine and painting classes. They're definitely not experts, but
Well, see, what I was gonna say was like, and it was a stupid idea because I just was like, no, that's so stupid. I was like, be cool to do like you said like wine and paint night. What if it was like pour your resin guitar and then learn to play that guitar night?
no.
Wow.
But then I realized it takes days for
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
the
you
resin
could,
to set.
yeah, you could if you could. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll leave it at I don't know. Let's look at the final product of this guitar. Behold. Wow.
It's crazy. Like,
Really nice. And I'll tell you, when I picked it up at GradX, I was blown away. Sounds great
yeah.
and plays great. Action is very good. I could tell you know what you're doing. So we're going through the body on that. Does it have a tremolo system? No.
No.
Yeah, so it's through the body, and then you got the what are those things called? The bottom sort of things holding the strings.
The saddles?
Yeah, the saddles. You got like the sort of Fender style,
Mm-hmm.
like Stratocasters, and you got the single humbucker.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice tone and volume.
Mm-hmm.
There you-
Actually, yeah, the tone is a push-pull,
Oh yeah.
so you can like split the coils. So because it only has one
Oh,
pickup,
yeah.
I wanted to make the tone like you have a little bit more flexibility.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Well, that's cool. It like a single and a humbucker. So
Mm-hmm.
It's still crazy to me because like pictures just don't even like it looks amazing in the photo, but in person it's like even more just like crazy. Because I remember like one of my teachers from my classes was your advisor, and he would always show us a picture once, and then there was like one time he showed us like a process video of like how it was made, and we were all there like, yeah, this is like very cool. And then you see it in person, and you're like, holy shit, like what the fuck? And then like it's the notion of like, oh, and it also plays.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds good, and you're just like,
Thanks.
how much does it weigh?
This one weighs about 14 pounds.
Okay.
Part of that is because the push-pull like pot I used, it's very large. And so the
Mhm.
resin, I had to use like an extra amount to get it to cover that. And so like the thicker the guitar is, the heavier it is. So same thing like with the flowers. If you choose to put a flower in there that
Mhm.
is very large, like a rose, it's going to be a lot heavier versus if you choose something like just sunflowers where it's like thinner.
Mm-hmm.
That affects it like a lot. But there are ways to work around the weight. If you
And
wanted something lighter.
so when you are pouring this, are you cutting out the neck pocket like later or the internal sort of spots or?
So for the mold for this one, it has the cavities built in.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing you have to do. Like it comes out with the neck pocket there
Mm-hmm.
and the humbucker cavity and all of that. But for the new mold I have, it doesn't have any of that. So if somebody wants 1 humbucker, 2 humbuckers, like 3
Oh,
single
cool.
coils, like you can do any of it. You just have to route it out.
There you go. So that like makes your sort of, you get a lot more options in
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
What would
That's
you?
why.
Oh, sorry. I say like, what would you say like the challenge of doing it that way is though? Like having it that you have to route it out after. Is there any challenges like with like say like maybe cutting like the flowers or something or like it cracking?
I'd say the biggest thing is like with this one, because the cavities were built in, I could visually see where the wires would be going. So I'd be like, okay, in those spots, there has to be a lot of flowers. But when those cavities aren't there, you kind of have to eyeball it.
Yeah, for sure.
Where the wiring is, which is a little bit difficult. Because like with this one, I hit it very well because I knew
Yeah,
where the wires were going to go.
I was about to ask, like the wire to the humbucker to the blah, 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 that thing.
The control plate?
The control. Yeah. So like you don't see
No.
any space and it's covered by flowers. Really
The
good.
same thing with the jack.
Yeah. Cool. And
Have you ever thought of just making like a perfectly clear one where you can see all the electronics and stuff inside?
I've seen people do that before.
their
Yeah.
motherboards and like.
Yeah, I like if someone wanted me to do that, I would. I don't think it's something I would do for myself, but I definitely could do that. It would be cheaper
For
because
sure,
you
yeah.
wouldn't have to pay for the flowers or anything.
What are like the hardest flowers to work with you found?
That's a good question. I feel like I haven't found any that like really stick out, mostly because I've used fake flowers a lot. The only thing I'll say is like number one enemy, bubbles. Bubbles
yeah.
seem to stick to certain ones more than others, and I'm not sure why.
You could say it's like part of your style.
I could,
Yeah.
but also like it's
the
hard
best
to
excuse
predict. Yeah,
OCAD has ever taught me.
yeah. Yeah, I
It's
could-
just my style.
It's just
bro.
my style, man.
Don't even, it's just my
The
style.
reason
You
why
can't even, like,
the lines are jagged is because I like it like that.
it's just my style. Like, have you not seen Picasso? He didn't have
Yeah.
always straight lines.
Yeah, do you like?
Dude, like, this was just a 15-minute sketch. It's just my style.
I'd
What, the bubbles?
I-
It just shows that it's...
Shut up. What the?
Oh, these
I was
bubbles?
gonna. I'd love to see you do some like more avant-garde body shapes for the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely
Even though I loved like the Telecaster shape, that I'd love to see some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Points, jagged edges.
I definitely have ideas. I have sketches. It's just a matter of getting the money to do it.
Yeah.
Because to make a new mold, it costs upwards of $500.
Have you seen like the Prince guitar, where it's
Yeah,
like his logo?
yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
one's
so cool.
wild.
So I guess you can make like any shape, right? As long as it has like a neck and a
Yeah.
space to.
Like really, as long as the scale length is right, so the distance between like the bridge and like the nut, as long as that's correct, you have a lot of freedom. You can mess around a lot.
It's crazy. What is like a shape, if you could make it, that you would make, like, ideal
Triangle.
situation?
Oh wait, they did that already. Flying V.
That's a hard question.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like I don't have anything like really out there right now. Something that I've been thinking about is like incorporating wood in part of it, but not just like straight lines, like some kind of cool shape. And another thing is like having an F hole on the side to sort of lighten it. That you could play around with that shape a lot too.
And have you looked into sort of like hollow body, sort of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like it'd be really difficult.
It would be difficult, and the other thing is too, for something like that, it wouldn't produce a good sound compared to wood if it was like fully resin.
Right.
Yeah, so like if you were to do like an acoustic guitar out of resin, like it wouldn't be too acoustic.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of that is in the sort of the connecting. I don't even know. I'm trying to bring up the point and sound like a guitar expert, but like it's
It's not working.
so you have your bass layer, and then there's these kind of like these bridges
Yep.
of wood in between, and it's like shaving down these bridges of wood to make sure the guitar like resonates through the whole thing. But
Oh.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, I knew that. Yeah.
If Mark was here, you'd be like, right on, man. Yeah, dude. That's like so true. Anyways, I don't know. I know nothing about making guitars, but does that sound?
It'd be difficult, yeah.
It'd be difficult.
Yeah.
We'll
You'd
leave
have
it
to
at
like
that.
cast it like with like a I forget what you call it, the thing like on the inside. Like you'd have to make like a piece that like get like a sacrifice so that the inside
positive.
stays
Yeah.
exactly, the inside stays hollow, which then I guess is like the challenge of that has to be like so precise and
Yeah,
perfect.
it'd be difficult to figure out the mold too, I feel like.
So here we have your setup.
Actually,
Oh
no.
no,
No, this is I got asked to do a photo shoot.
Cool.
Like I got offered by someone who I met at GradX, and I was like, my Line 6 amp is not gonna cut this. My single pedal
see,
is not
yeah.
gonna cut this. So shout out to
Oh.
my friend Patrick. He makes basses. He let me borrow his amp and his pedal board.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hate pedals.
Yeah.
I think they're dumb.
You think they're dumb, really?
I think they're like a collector's toy.
Damn, I feel like there's going to be a heated debate here. I'm like the. See, like, I don't know that much
I
about
think,
guitar, so like I'm like the perfect like mediator.
Yeah, okay.
here to like.
So
have
let
this-
me
handle this.
then
debate. Let's see. You hate them.
let me
You
give
like
you
them.
let me give you the pitch.
I like neutral.
Let me give you the pitch, because say like you want to be like all your favorite guitar players, and you got to have like every single pedal, and after 40 years you've collected all the ones you like, and you don't have a car, don't have a home, because you spent them all on
Just because
pedals.
of pedals? Okay,
Just
I
because
think
of-
they're.
and
I
amps.
would blame that on something other
And
than pedals
amps.
and amps. There's something going on mentally there if you sacrifice
Well, if you're a
a
guitarist-
living situation for a pedal.
You you think the next pedal is gonna make you big.
Now see. No,
But
that's
okay, but I
fair.
haven't gone to where my solution is
Okay.
just modulation like amplifiers, not like your Line 6, but even though
Yeah, we don't talk about
that's
that.
what everyone thinks like a modulation amp is like a Spider 6 or like a Line 6, but Fender makes some really nice the like Bullet GT whatever make really nice modulations, and you get everything in one amp, and that's why I think pedals are dumb.
Yeah, see, this is starting to sound more
Also,
like an
you
ad
just
pitch.
also
This
you
is
just
turning into
plug it
an
in.
ad
If you
pitch.
get if you could like plug it into your computer, there's just like presets for everything. But then this is where if Mark was here, he'd be giving the second half of the pitch.
I'm kind of neutral with pedals. Like I hear your side, but I also understand why people would want like the physical thing. I don't know. I don't have
I
much
love
to
pedals.
Yeah, you.
You love.
Okay, and here's why.
Here's
Why I love pedals, because they have the possibility of, since they are an analog piece of technology, they are literally like disrupting it like right there. It's not like it is simulating or making, it's like for example, it's like the difference between driving like a charger and then driving like an electric charger where it has a speaker that goes like it's just not the same.
You
It-
can say it's not the same, but it's damn close. Like it's really, really close.
Okay.
It's
But-
okay if I gave you two pieces of guitar, like just guitar music, you wouldn't be able to tell. Then again,
But okay, but
you're not in the position.
But it's the same thing too, where like, I think you can use pedals for more than just guitar. Like you don't have to use it for like a rock and roll guitar. You can
Yeah,
do so
well-
much more with it. I think the reality of it is it's like the pedal came before whatever you just said in your ad pitch there. Like it's
The pedal came before, and we should leave it in the past. That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
I am anti-pedal,
I can tell.
except for the wah pedal,
Oh, so
because there's
exception.
because you can't really like
You
have
can't
a
get
wah.
that with an amp.
Yeah,
You don't have control
You
over
have
it.
to step on
Yeah.
something like that to do a wah. And any pedal that like connects to like the same function as a wah, but they're just like
Okay, so you're
different.
like semi-anti
because if you look at like a piano and how they have the same pedals at the bottom to like stretch the notes, it's like the same thing as a wah, but
This has been me the whole time, just sitting here.
but if you have a pedal that you just need to turn off and on, it's like you don't need to buy all these different pedals that do these
Okay,
different
but
things.
well, think about
you just
this.
need an on and off switch.
Well, what about like a song where it's really clean and then all of a sudden like the chorus comes in and it's heavy and you need to switch to distortion?
Immediately.
Yeah,
Pedal.
immediately.
Okay, but
Pedal.
Pedal.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm
There's-
not
it's a
saying
yes or
that
no.
they're okay. No, because it's just an on and off switch.
Yeah, but how else are
To
you
a-
gonna do it? Because if your hands are playing, like
Because
you
it's
can't
like,
reach
yeah,
over
like
to your hand.
setting the mood,
I'm gonna
chorus.
be honest
1
with you.
second.
Okay,
Like, come
I
on.
say this because I have an amp, a modulation amp, and it has a, what's the right word? Not a pedal board, but it has these little knobs. It has a board that has pedal buttons
Yeah.
that I can set to have modulated pedals to.
Okay.
So
So
I can still click it, but it
how?
is a pedal
how are you
system.
gonna? So okay.
Although I'm not going to buy the original.
Okay, so how are you gonna press that if you need to
With your
choose
foot.
like that? You're gonna hit that one button with your foot on your amp without touching anything else.
Not on my. Okay.
See?
No. It's a pedal board. It's
Okay, it's a pedal board. See?
it's a pedal board,
There
but
you
it's a
go.
modulated.
It's a pedal board. You've gone from anti-pedal board to
No, I'm
Wazoo
anti-pedal.
to I actually
You're
have.
I'm
Pedal.
anti-pedal. So if you like,
So let me
because-
have the board, but just like remove
let me
pedal
get the
from it.
board because apparently I need a board now to play. But no, I'm anti-buying like the original. Okay, this is dumb. I'm anti-buying the original ones.
You know what,
Just
though?
use the modulated
You
ones.
know what though? Some of them have really fun designs. Some of them
Oh,
have
now
really fun
now it's like we're
designs.
buying guitars
I'm
again.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you go to like a guitar store, like it's fun to look at them.
Oh, you should do like a guitar with like guitar pedals.
guitar build.
You would love that.
I'd love it.
You would love
They're
that.
trapped forever.
But yeah, exactly. Wow.
Look, if all the old pedals just like went away forever, no one would miss them.
Let's see what the people have to say.
And we'll leave it to the
Yeah.
people at home, the folks at home. I've made my case.
You've made contradicting
It's quite
cases.
the case, yeah.
But yeah.
Should we get into it? You know, I still feel like a modulated pedal system is what I'll call it because I don't know
Oh
what to
my
call it.
Okay.
Is different than buying every single different
No, I
pedal
hear
because
what-
there
I
are
hear
like
what you're
thousands
saying.
of them.
Yeah, yeah.
When they could be in one
I
system.
feel like it's not black and white. I feel like it's a gray area.
Yeah.
See?
I'm neutral. Hey.
Yeah, okay,
Like,
okay.
listen, for me, like this argument is like saying like, oh, should I get like just a drum pad or should I get a drum pad that has like 30 other things on it? It's like I think like the thing that you need to like recognize too is the benefit of having them separate is that like I just need this one specific pedal. I know I'm gonna use that pedal. I pay the money for that pedal versus like this universal has 80 plus pedals on it. How much do you think that's gonna cost? And you may
It's
only
true.
use like 2 of the pedals. It's like I don't care about this specific one, but I just paid $200 extra for.
It's actually a lot cheaper. That's what
there
I'm
you go.
saying.
See,
It's
I'm
a lot
uninformed.
cheaper to use a modulated. It doesn't matter anymore. But
I
I'm just
hear what
saying
you're
it's a lot
saying.
cheaper.
I hear what you're saying. I
But
get it.
Anyways, you make guitars, something like that. I think we were talking about.
Yeah.
How do you think it plays?
How do I think it plays?
Yeah.
For a single pickup, I think it's pretty good. I used, a lot of people ask how it sounds with the resin, if it like affects the tone. I feel like because I used a really good pickup, I used PAF DiMarzio 36th anniversary bridge humbucker.
God damn.
It's a really good pickup and it sounds fine. The only limitation I'd say is because it's a bridge pickup, you don't always get that bassy sound, which is why I put the push-pull like tone, but I think it's fine. I think it's good. I like it. Maybe I'm biased, but I've also heard other people like it as well.
I mean, once you get the pedals, but we'll not get into that.
Shit, I can't make a guitar, so like haters gonna hate. I'm sure it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it sounds like.
I think
it's good.
you know, any guitar player would be honored to play, you know, something that's really custom like this, because you know, there's a lot of different guitars out there, but I haven't seen one like this.
Like this
one.
is
Very
handmade.
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
this is handmade. This isn't like that.
Is that a
like-
good thing? Or?
That's a great thing. Like I think like the thing with like musical instruments is that like used to be like an industry where there was so much passion and sort of pride in making instruments that sound amazing and are like made for the person. And now it's like shit, they're just like pushed out like a product, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's lost its
Well,
There are definitely
Everyone
still
wants to
those
play.
people, but it's like
yeah.
small.
yeah, I think that's important.
It's
like
like
it's-
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what keeps stuff alive. Like this is like I think your contributions to creating these instruments, which are a masterpiece, like they are a work of art that enables other people to make art too, is just it's a lovely thing, you know. Like you don't see handmade guitars like this. Right?
Really, this is a PODCAD first, you know, to have a luthier on. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And what we do here at the end of our episode is we like to give our guest a gift. So,
Oh, really?
yes.
Gibson?
So from not we're not doing that well.
Whoa, okay, we're
I'm
not
kidding, I'm
Nardwuar or
kidding.
anything.
But you know, from PODCAD to us, I got you a pedal. No. I have it on me, so
Pulls out a guitar.
was that a big modulated pedal system?
Pulls out
It's
Prince's.
an E string, because they're a lot more useful than I'd like
Wow.
to admit.
You know
you'll
what? I
definitely
could
need
always
it.
use an E string.
Yeah.
They always break. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. An E string. I can't believe this. Thank you. Wow. I will use this.
Good.
Wow.
That's great. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed our season finale. Ended off with a bang. And we'll see you all next season. Same place, same time. With all of us, all our friends, cast and crew.
Yeah.
We'll all see you next time.
Next year.
Next year,
Yeah.
2024. See you there. Take care.
Easy.
Yeah, that was...
Perfect.